Hello everybody, this is Gregory with 5-Minute Catholic Apologetics, where 5 minutes of your time may get you to the divine. Today we're going to talk about whether or not Catholics are really looking for a Catholic mate, and if Catholicism is the number one thing that they're looking for. Now before we begin, let's start with a prayer. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritui Sancti. Amen. Gloria Patri Filii et Spiritui Sancto, sic ut erat in principio et nunc et semper et secula seculorum. Amen. I definitely recommend you check out our other dating videos here. I have one, should you date or marry a non-Catholic? What are the two mistakes that Catholics make on their dating profiles? Can we save Christian or Catholic matrimony? So go check these out. So this is a lamentation I think some people who are on Catholic dating sites make. Are these people really looking for Catholics? I'm a good Catholic, but I'm not getting as much attention or time or treatment that I should be getting. Well, look, dating and marriage, you can't separate values from attraction. And I think, and I've mentioned this on the episode on Catholic dating, like some of the mistakes that people make, some misunderstandings they have of the opposite sex, is there still needs to be a level of attraction. And we kind of have this Pollyanna view that people will fall in love with us because of our good heart, or in this case, because of our fervent Catholicism. But you're overlooking basic intersexual dynamics. And so let's review some of the basic intersexual dynamics. Because in general, do Catholic men and Catholic women on Catholic dating sites or on Catholic Facebook groups, do they want a Catholic wife or Catholic husband? Yes, I would say as a whole, yes. That's important to them. That's why they're trying to find one. Because as I mentioned, can you marry a non-Catholic? You cannot. And I mentioned that video, according to canon law, we have to marry a Catholic unless you get dispensation. So it's kind of important. And it's worrisome to me that I've met people who will post in their profiles that they're essentially looking for any Christian, because any Christian will do, because I can convert them or they'll convert. No. That's a sign of disobedience. You really should only be looking at Catholics. So what's the issue? What do men look at? Do men want a Catholic wife? Yes. But again, a man is wired for viewing beauty in youth. So yes, he wants a Catholic wife, but he also wants her to be attractive. And you can't separate the two. And I know this sounds shallow to women, but you have to understand the way the male mind is wired. It's wired to still view beauty. Women are the objects of beauty. You see this throughout literature and paintings and so forth. It's just the way it is. Men were not that attractive. But women are the objects of beauty. They've always been this way. So how would you rank like what men are looking for? Well, number one, it's going to be beauty. Let's be honest. Two, it's probably going to be youth or some level of youth. So again, men are looking to find a woman somewhere in that 20 to 40 range. And look, if you don't believe me, OkCupid did this big study that came out. And they track, of course, everything you track, the age range that you put on these dating apps, they track everything. And they showed a graph, and I'll show it here if I can find it. The average age of the woman that men look at, regardless of the age of the man, was about 23 years old. So 23-year-olds are looking at 23-year-old women. 43-year-old men are looking at 23-year-old women. 63-year-old men are looking at 23-year-old women. Why? Because that's peak fertility. That's peak what we would say sexual market value for women around that age in the 20s. So again, that's just the way men are wired. So men are wired to look at beauty. Men are wired to look at youth because these are signs of fertility and so forth. And then they're going to look at virtue. Virtue is very important for a man to find in a wife. And then personality and all these other things. So yes, if there's two equally attractive women at the same age and everything else is constant, one is a Catholic and one is not, he's gonna pick the Catholic. But men as a whole, the number one criteria, even good stalwart Catholic men, is not gonna be the woman being Catholic, because that goes against intersexual dynamics. It's, do I find her sexually attractive? Because what is attraction really based? What does it really mean? What separates a friend from a romantic interest? And that is sexual attraction, my desire to want to unite with that person and have a child with them. That's the big separation. What are women looking for? Women are willing to forsake looks for other qualities. I mean, you see this on the street every day, right? You see these beautiful women with unattractive men. Now, in the Paleolithic world, we talked about this in that previous episode, women were very vulnerable. And as such, even though we're out of the Paleolithic world, most of human existence was in the Paleolithic era. So women are still wired to look for men that can provide and protect and satisfy hypergamy in them. So this is why women are willing to forsake looks for other qualities, and the other qualities are normally going to be the need for provisioning and security. Even though they make their own money and so forth, they can be independent, you still can't take the cave out of the woman, just like you can't take the visual stimulus of men out of men. So women are going to be looking to satisfy their hypergamy. And so what's the best thing for men? Well, the best thing for men is, of course, to demonstrate that you have a certain amount of wealth. I mean, again, some men get mad, oh, I'm a janitor, women don't want to give me the time of day, I'm a good man. Well, yeah, you might be a good man, but if they say about advertising, you can make the best shoes in the world, but if nobody knows about it because you don't advertise it, you're essentially not making the best shoes in the world. So with women, they will look at a man, and being a good Catholic man is certainly important. Like you'll read profiles on Catholic Match or wherever, I'm looking for a good Catholic man, da 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 da. And so these men will message, I know Catholic history, and I know Catholic apologetics, or I know Catholic, I go to Mass every day, and then they still get rejected. Why am I getting rejected? Because they want that, but that's not the number one thing. The number one thing is you still have to satisfy the other things that women are looking for in a man. So wit and humor, and some of these are kind of specific to women, but overall, what do women want? Masculine men, not obsequious beta simp types. That is something that they don't want. Just like men want what? Very feminine women. And you see this kind of cultural Marxist maneuvering the last 60 years where women have become masculinized. You see them with the tattoos and the big traps, and then men have been feminized. But we're all wired to still want the same thing. Women crave masculine men, men crave feminine women. So women want masculine men that are going to demonstrate ambition, because ambition shows that they can provide for them. Certainly physically, they're looking at facial symmetry, just like men are looking at women for facial symmetry, because beauty is based on facial symmetry. Women like men with height because they can feel protected and their offspring will be taller. Women like men who are witty because witty shows high IQ, right? So these are all things that men need to understand. Now, if there's two men of equal looks and equal stature and equal everything, and one is a Catholic and one is not, she'll pick the Catholic. But in closing, a man or woman's Catholic faith is not the number one thing, nor will it ever be. So if you ever post this in a Facebook, the women, women will be, no, it's not true. I don't care about provision security. There's no such thing as hypergamy. Of course they're going to say that because they don't want to come off shallow, but it's not shallow. It's just better to be honest. It's better to be honest. Women, if you're wanting to attract a good Catholic man, unfortunately, if you weigh 500 pounds, you're not going to attract one. It's just the way of the world. It's the way of the world. And same thing for men. Don't complain about things. Oh, women don't like my good heart and good personality. Then fix it. There's things that you can do. So in closing, for those of you who are on Catholic-specific dating sites, I think, and I mentioned this in the previous episode, I think a lot of people go there because they think that they're going to be judged differently than if they're on Bumble or Tinder and so forth. And certainly I think you'll find a better quality of man and better quality of woman on Catholic Match, and certainly somebody who you can marry in the church and whose values line up. That being said, though, you cannot throw out basic intersexual dynamics. There's still an animalistic part of us. Yes, that is overridden by reason and intellect and will and all these things, but at the same time, we are still wired that way. And I think you just have to take that into consideration when you're on these dating apps. Take them into consideration. So yes, of course, everyone wants a good Catholic. A Catholic wants a good Catholic person in their life. But don't underestimate the fact that other factors are still very important. Guys, please post in the comments. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Please hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Share with like-minded people. Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.